What's up everybody, it's KelseeBrianaJai here with a review, swatches, and a tutorial using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. Look at this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting this packaging. I honestly hadn't seen the packaging until mine arrived at my doorstep. The actual unicorn looks exactly like the palette, which I think is super cute. This palette is super new. I picked mine up from Anastasia Beverly Hills directly. You guys know a lot of times things launch on her website first and then it trickles out to other retailers. So this is Anastasia's holiday palette. She also released a few other products. Glitters, glitter adhesives, and a few other lip products, but I decided to just pick up the palette. This palette retails for $45 and it's in a super sturdy cardboard packaging and it's made of glitter. Some of the glitter particles are coming off, but not a whole lot to where you should be alarmed. Let me go ahead and read you guys the description of this palette off of the website. It says, Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry Eyeshadow Palette is an essential smoky eyeshadow palette that features 14 shades ranging from golden mattes to bronzy metallics. Create an endless array of holiday looks with this collection of cool toned shadows, including 2 cult favorite shades and 12 all new shades. As per usual, Anastasia always comes with this dual-sided brush. I don't really use it, but it's there if you need it. And here's the palette, super beautifully laid out. I love the layout of this palette. And like they said in the description, there is a mix of finishes. So we have the metallics, we have the shimmers, and we have the mattes. This eyeshadow palette is a cool toned eyeshadow palette. I don't have a lot of cool toned eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I typically go with a more neutral or either a more warm toned option. So I'm happy to have this. I love how even though it's cool toned, it's not super mauve-y or super grayed out. There's a few gray colors in here, but you can create so many different looks with this palette that it's not just going to be super monotone like a lot of cool toned eyeshadow palettes are. You can go from day to night with this eyeshadow palette and do a lot of different looks. I see at least 15 different looks that I could create with just this palette alone. A lot of people are complaining about this palette being boring or just dull or just a bunch of shadows that we already have in our collection. I do feel like I have similar colors to this in my collection, like sporadically placed throughout palettes. I don't have anything like this all together, nor do I have anything with this formulation. So taking myself out of being a YouTuber and just buying things for my channel, as a consumer, I purchase palettes for 2 different reasons. The first reason why I purchase a palette is for convenience. I like to purchase things that have all the colors that I need in them. I don't have to reach in a whole bunch of different palettes. Or I purchase things for uniqueness. And the palette has to hit either one of those for me as a consumer to take notice. This palette is definitely hitting the convenience factor. Everything that I need is already here. I don't have to depot. I don't have to take 4 and 5 different palettes with me if I'm traveling. I can just grab this if I want to do a more cool toned eyeshadow look. And a lot of people are comparing the Sultry palette to both the Norvina palette or the Soft Glam palette, which I see what you mean. All 3 of them are giving me different undertones. I do see where shades are crossing and they're pretty similar, but overall the vibes of the palettes are just totally different. Here's the Sultry palette and the Norvina palette. As you all can see, the Sultry palette is much more neutral in tone compared to the Norvina palette. The Norvina palette is much more purple and just pink and more so just plummy in comparison to the Soft Glam palette. Both of them are neutral palettes, but the Soft Glam palette is noticeably warmer. It has more reddish tones to it, more orangey tones, versus the Sultry palette has more cool tones, more grays. Both of these palettes on my complexion are going to serve 2 different purposes. And I will insert swatches comparing all 3 of the palettes. That way you guys can get a visual representation. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into swatches of this palette. You can see what the colors look like individually from this palette. And then following that, I will jump into a demonstration of this eye look. A very blown out smoky eye look because I hadn't done one in a while. And it's one of my favorite looks. So I hope that you all enjoy, and I will talk to you all super soon. Tom Ford number 11 brush, I'm going to first dip into the color Fresh. I'm going to take this color all over my lid and set my base. I just put a little bit of concealer down. And then I'm taking a fluffy brush. This is a Tom Ford number 13 and the color Birch. I'm going to take this in my crease and a little bit above it, and this is going to be my transition color. So back and forth. This color is about the same color as my complexion. Because I put down a lighter base, it's showing up true to color. And this color in the pan, it looks more so like a mustard, but on me it's going on like a more neutral toned brown. The more that I layer it, the darker that it's getting. And it's okay if you get a little bit on the lid, but I'm just going to take this in circular motions and diffuse it in the crease, so it'll be really blown out. Same brush, and I'm going to dip into the color Dystopian. This really beautiful brown. This has no fallout. So I'm just going to move down ever so slightly and apply this color directly in the crease. Lightly start to diffuse that color up. Same brush, and I'm going to dip into Noir. And very carefully, I am going to apply this color on the outer corner and slightly diffuse it right on the very outer edge up to the crease. Lightly begin to build that color up right on the edge of that brown. I'm going to switch to a flat shader brush. This is a MAC 242 brush, and I'm going to pick up the exact same color with this brush and pack it on the lid. I'm making sure to tap off the brush so I don't get fallout, but honestly, I'm not getting fallout. This black is pretty rich. It's not messy, which is amazing. And I'm not going to put it on the inner corner. Leave that space blank for another color, but just pack this on the lid up to the crease, and then the crease will be already diffused out, so you don't really have to spend too much time blending. Now I'm going to go in with the pencil brush. This is a Wayne Goss 05 brush, and I'm going to take the color Rose Quartz. With this look, you can do any one of these shimmery colors on the inner tear ducts. You can even do Bloom if you wanted to and just add a really fun pop of color. I'm going to take this color and pack it on the inner corner. Super beautiful. And I'm just going to continue packing this on until it's fully okay. I'm going to go ahead and add some finishing touches to my face, and I'll be back and we can finish the eye look together. So I went ahead and added some finishing touches on my face. I love these lashes. These are by the brand iikon lashes. And this is the style Jealous. Really beautiful, like fluttery lashes. Now onto the bottom, I'm going to go back with the pencil brush, back with Rose Quartz. On the inner lower lash line, I'm going to apply this color. Same brush, I just wiped it off. I'm going to go in with Bloom. I'm going to take this very carefully on the lower center part of the lower lash line and buff that out. Lastly, I'm going to go back with the color Noir and very carefully apply this on the very lower lash line on the outer corner and connect it to the top. And here's what it should look like. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side and add a little bit of eyeliner and mascara on the lower lash line. So here is the final look. My final verdict on this palette is that I think it's beautiful from the packaging to the layout of the eyeshadows to the formulation of the eyeshadows. It is an absolutely stunning palette. The shadows all performed beautifully. The metallics were super blinding. The mattes were very smooth. Everything was very creamy and pigmented to work with. And I think that this is beautiful for holidays. Let me know if you all plan on picking up this palette down in the comments section. And I will talk to you all in my very next video. Smooches. Bye.